Heartily welcome to all of you on our YouTube channel CSNSR. I'm speaking Stella from the CSNSR. So today's topic is Introduction Business Communication. For that we have our guest teacher CA Mitika ma'am. Thank you so much ma'am for joining us and also giving your valuable time. Before we further ado, I having a smallest request to all of you those who are watching us to subscribe our YouTube channel and do not forget to like, share and comment. Now ma'am, I would like to invite you to share the thoughts on the today topic.
Thank you so much, Stella, and greetings to everyone. As Albert Einstein has rightly said, tell me, I forget. Teach me, I remember. Involve me, I learn. So let's involve and learn the dots of business communication together. What is business communication? We have discussed it in length in our previous session as well. But before we start with this, let's understand what is communication. In communication, we have a sender, we have a receiver, we have a message, and we have a channel. So the sender sends a message to via a channel to the receiver. Now, very important thing which comes up here is, when does human being start to communicate? When does the human being starts to communicate, or when is the first communication happens in respect of a human? As we all know, Abhimanyu, son of Arjun, knew how to evade Chakravyuh even before he was born. So how did it happen? It happened all in the mother's womb. That's why we always say that our communication must be pure and clear. Now let's come to our original topic, which is business communication, which states that it is the exchange of information within and outside of the organization. It can be oral, it can be written, and it can be non-verbal as well. And in the present scenario, in the AI tools, we have digital communication becoming of utmost importance. And business communication also help us to achieve the business goals effectively. Now, always understand that communication is the effect it creates. So, say it in the correct way. That is important. Now, what is the focal point of business communication? Business communication helps to build business relationships or professional relationships. It reduces misunderstandings and error, improves productivity and teamwork, supports decision making and leadership. Now, let's talk in length about the importance of business communication. It develops coordination and collaboration skills, satisfaction, builds trust, strong base teams, establishes clear goals and expectations. And when communications are clear, it reduces email overloads and improves focus. We have a detailed discussion on the email communications and communication via WhatsApp in a professional way in a complete session. Kindly refer to it. Now, let's come back to the importance of business communication. It maintains orders and transparency and sparks innovation and fresh ideas. So, we have a very popular saying which says, innovation thrives when communication is clear. So, whenever our business communications are clear, even innovation happens at the business workplaces. And most importantly, it promotes a healthy and inclusive work culture place. Now, let's talk about the most important thing in the business communication, which is the seven C's of the communication. Now, the seven C's represent clear, concise, complete, correct, concrete, consideration, courteous. Now, let's dig in one by one. What does communication being clear means? This means whatever message we have, it should be clearly vocal and it should reach to our recipient in the manner which we devise. Next is it should be concise, which states we should not have roundabout construction, long sentences, long paragraphs. We should avoid in place of business communication. Third, it says the communication must be complete with all respect. That means whatever message is intended to be provided to the receiver, it must be communicated. Fourth, it says that the communication must be correct with all respect, be it language, be it grammar, be it the message he wants to convey. Fifth, the communication must be concrete, which represents that it must be backed up with data and resources. It should be factual. Sixth is the consideration, which means the receiver must be perceived whenever we are communicating. We should always analyze who is our receiver and what message we are trying to convey. And lastly, in all our communication, we must be courteous, which means we should be polite, we should refine our words, and stay professional. Now, let's get to the another section which says what are the types of business communication. We know it is verbal, it is written, it is non-verbal, and digital. Now, when we talk about the verbal communication, it includes meetings, presentation, calls, in which we have a direct interaction with the receiver. Next, we have written communication, which represents by emails, reports, notices, proposals, memos, and several things. Now, most important thing which we have in the present scenario is the non-verbal communication and the digital communication. What is non-verbal communication? It is the body language. How we are expressing our things, that is important. We shouldn't be over expressive. And whenever we are talking in a business communication professionally, we should always have our body language, our postures must be taken care of. Eye to eye contacts are important. The way how we shake hands with anybody, that is again very important. Next is our tonality, the tone of our communication, be it written or be it verbal. Now, what does this mean? This means even if we are making some firm emails, even if we are making some firm messages, it should not be accusatory, it should not be emotional, it should be affirmative. Next is the gestures. The gestures always means the eye contacts, how we are greeting our seniors, how we're greeting our peers. Like, are we rolling our eyes and somebody is speaking to us? Yes, all this should be avoided, even in case of the business communication. Now, let's come to the digital communication, our biggest gift after COVID-19. This has emerged as, like we say, the population of the mushroom, because it has become of great significance in the AI world. So, what is digital communication and what forms? We have chats, it could be Telegram, it could be WhatsApp, and the other. Next is we have online forms, the Google Forms, very easy nowadays in almost all of the organizations, within and outside of the organization. The Google Forms are a mean of communication. The virtual meetings. So, this concludes our types of business communication. Now, most important thing which we talk in business communication is about the barriers. Now, what are the barriers to the business communication? This means the hindrances which gets in between whenever a message is being conveyed, how it is perceived. It could be at different levels. So, what are the types of business communication barriers? Let's talk in elaboration. First is the language barrier, which is with respect to the difference in language, the jargons, the vocabularies. Next, let's talk about the cultural barriers, which is the values, the belief system, the cultural misunderstanding which happens between multiple employees at different hierarchy levels, and how do we overcome this? See, in this case, we should always have some cultural assessment trainings, some language introduction trainings. Like say, we have a person from Delhi and who has moved to Hyderabad in our company, for example. So the person must be well versed because of the language being used in Hyderabad, because Delhi tone is very much different from the Hyderabad tone. So the tonality we have already discussed. Next is your psychological barrier. Psychological barrier is the stress, the emotion, the assumptions, the attitude which we bring whenever we are communicating, be it verbal, be it written, and be it non-verbal. Next is this physical barriers, is the noise, the distance. In this we talk about the infrastructure. Then we have is the organizational barriers. Organizational barriers is the hierarchical gaps, the unclear rules, the rigid systems. And how do we overcome these? Obviously, nowadays we have the concept of lunch meetings, we have open houses. Why are we these things becoming a trend in any of the organization? It is because to bridge the gaps which we have in the organization. Next is the perpetual barriers. This means different interpretations and different viewpoints. Like we have a very popular saying to this: uh, half filled glass may be half empty or it could be half filled. It is just how we are perceiving. In the practical scenario, let's take an example. Like suppose we're at a client visit, an intern spoken up or gave an observation to the client. The client would not take it with the same level of understanding if it comes out of the mouth of a senior partner. So what is that? Has the observation changed? Has the fact changed? No, it is just the perception of that particular kind. So that is the perpetual barrier. And lastly, we have is the technological barrier, which means it is the poor connectivity and overuse of the digital tools. I hope we are clear with the barriers. And once we are clear with the barriers, we will obviously be able to communicate effectively. Now, let's talk about a very important and practical thing, which is what is the difference between an ordinary communicator and a professional communicator? Ordinary communicator, professional communicator. Why do we want this difference? Because we are talking about business communication. So, how would an ordinary communicator behave? The ordinary communicator always complains or blames. For example, the person writes in the email, "You never give me information on time." How does the professional communicator behave? He or she takes the responsibility and with respect. Now, how can this be rephrased? Let's look at how we can improve timelines going forward. Same thing, but non-accusatory tone, firm yet polite. Now, the ordinary communicator, we always say, "You have to do this." We have also talked about this in the hierarchical gaps. Like, "You must complete this today." Now, the professional communicator communicates in a different way and he says, "How can I help you?" This means, "How can I support you to complete this today?" Let's talk about the other thing. Values the word. The ordinary communicator always beats the bush. "I said what I had to say." But what does a professional communicator do? The professional communicator always values emotions and beliefs. The same thing would be differently said as, "I want to ensure my message is clear and helpful to you." And the ordinary communicator always focuses on position. "I'm the manager, so follow the instructions." No, your position doesn't give you pride. It should focus on the organizational interest. Let's align on what works best for the team. Same thing said in a different manner. So let's not be the ordinary communicator. Let's try involve ourselves and upgrade ourselves in becoming the professional communicator. Let's come to a few more examples. Like, the ordinary communicator uses a lot of I's. "I want this done by my way or highway," very popular saying. Whereas a professional communicator uses a lot of "we" or "us." How can we approach this together? More sense of bonding. An ordinary communicator always labels people. "You are careless. How could you do this?" Again, accusatory tone. But a professional communicator always respects different mental maps of the people. How can we do this? There seems to be a gap in the process. Let's fix it. An ordinary communicator always generalizes. "You always make mistakes. You have not done this the correct way. I wanted you to do this. You are very careless." So, this is how an ordinary communicator behaves. But a professional communicator is always specific. In this instant, there was an error. Let's address it. So, it is more opening, more accommodating, rather than just focusing on people's carelessness or mistakes. Now, always remember, until a lion learns how to write, every story shall glorify the hunter. So, what does this mean? When we become and increase our level from an ordinary communicator to the professional communicator, we will always have a better way of presentation. So, let's rise ourselves from being ordinary to the professional. So, that's how we connect the dots of business communication. For a detailed understanding on how do we communicate via emails and WhatsApp, please refer to our another session video, and we will come up with a conclusive video of the session in our next session, I believe. Stella, right? Thank you so much and have a good day, everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Like, thanks a lot. You giving your valuable time and very wonderfully you explain and introduce about the business communication. Hope those who are watching us they understood very well. And if there will be the any doubts, you guys comment in the our comment section and definitely we will reply you. So again, ma'am, thanks a lot for today.
Thank you so much, Stella.